never happened before. Not ever, not once in the world of collegiate gymnastics. Washington has never beaten Utah. But there have been 2 ties, and both happened here in Seattle, so I guess I'm saying there's a chance. Number 4, Red Rocks from Utah, and the University of Washington Gym Dogs, live from Alaska Airlines Arena, only on the Pac-12 Network. It's the meet of the week, presented by Pacific Premier Bank. Hi, everybody. Jim Watson, alongside the Olympic Golden Girl, the gold medalist from '96. It's Amanda Borden, and welcome to Montlake, where we may not see an upset, but we may predict perfection. We're talking about Utah, and in particular on the balance beam with Miley O'Keefe. She's in the middle of an astounding run. And Utah is ranked not only number 1 in the conference, but number 2 in the country on this event.
Well, these routines, you are in for a treat watching this lineup, and head coach Carly Dockendorf has something to do with that. She's familiar around this neck of the woods as a former Husky. She's also a phenomenal athlete, Pac-12 champion herself. But she has put together incredible routines, incredible lineups, including this young lady, Miley O'Keefe, who has been perfect 3 times this season. She's always been a beautiful beam worker with a high level of skill and artistry. It is a perfect combination, but the coaches said she puts in impeccable work every single day, focusing on the details that lead to perfection.
O'Keefe is in the middle of an astounding run right now. 13 times in her career, she's received a perfect 10 on the toughest event. That makes her the greatest beamer in the history of the sport.
Beautiful stick on that landing there, and a little personality. She loves the balance beam, and it shows every single time she performs.
3 perfect scores in just 5 meets this year. Her teammates and the fans at the Huntsman Center have almost come to expect it. Miley O'Keefe will be up on 3 events today. But Utah is more than just Miley, of course. The Red Rocks as a team are ranked number 4, and they are loaded. The sophomore, McKenna Smith, is an All-American ranked in the top 20 in the all-around.
Well, she had a solid freshman year that helped build her confidence coming in as a sophomore. Multiple all-around wins. But the coaches said it's not just her unique skills like that front landing where she is confident. It's her love in the gym shows with her hard work and the fact that she loves to perform under pressure.
Her love, her talent, and her composure, 67 straight routines without a fall. Washington coming off a season-best score at Stanford on Monday night, and the senior star Skylar Killow-William posted a career best in the all-around, a ridiculous 39.575.
Well, she has incredible artistry, beautiful lines on the uneven bars. They've been focusing on clean landings. She was able to deliver that. She put up a matched career best on the balance beam, but she says that she's in the best physical and mental shape she's ever been in, which is key as she helps lead one of the youngest Husky teams ever.
Half of this roster, either freshmen or sophomores. Skylar coming in white hot, 10 straight scores at least 9.85 or better. Could this be the day the Gym Dogs finally take down the Red Rocks? Number 4, Utah and Washington, live from Montlake on the meet of the week. Alaska Airlines Arena in Seattle. For those of you old enough to remember, Heck Edmondson Pavilion. This place has been here nearly 100 years. Just think of the athletes that have performed on the floor. Today, number 4, Utah and the Gym Dogs, the University of Washington, and Utah coming in as one of the teams threatening for a national championship. And it's because they're ranked in the top 10 on every event, including the bars, where Grace McCallum comes in individually, ranked as the 7th best athlete in the country, the runner-up on that event at the NCAA Finals a year ago.
Well, she'll be anchoring this first rotation. She has beautiful skills, incredible form and lines, and she's actually expected to be in the all-around for today's competition.
Meantime, Washington, as the home team in the Olympic order, begins on the vault. Now, the key on the vault is having a high start value. Lana Navarro, the only 10 in the starting 6 for UW. But I've often asked this, is it better to do a 9-9, a simple vault, and Yurchenko layout beautifully, or challenge yourself with a more difficult vault and a 10-0 start value?
I think it probably depends on the athlete, but for Navarro, that is an addition this week, something they've tried to upgrade. They have another athlete training to upgrade a vault. So if they think it's consistent enough and it's worth the risk, they're going to go for it. We see a lot of teams putting up 5 to 6 10-0 start value vaults. So if they can land them, it makes a big difference in that team score.
Washington as a team is only ranked 35th on this event. Lily Tubbs gets us started in Seattle.
A nice clean start. The Yurchenko layout full, we see it all the time. So they're going to look for amplitude, distance, form, as well as the landing.
She's been good on this event this year. Career high 9.875 came against Cal on this floor a couple of weeks ago. Utah on the bars. Statistically, its weakest event, and they're still ranked 9th in the country. 3rd best in the conference, averaging a 49.3. They've got as high as 49.5. We mentioned McCallum in the anchor spot is number 7th, but big names up and down the lineup, beginning with McKenna Smith.
And she's been in the leadoff spot consistently because of her consistency. She's cool and calm under pressure, you can see. Nice and relaxed while she's waiting for the judges.
She always dances, no matter what, especially when she has to wait. She's all by herself. 4 times this year, she's gone 9.85 or better, including back-to-back season high 9.875s.
Combination down to the low bar. And then bringing it right back up to the high bar. Release move with that half turn, leg separated just a little bit, but nailed that final handstand. Unique dismount, pike front half.
Had to fight for it.
When you talk to the coaches, at this point in the season, you want to really start buckling down on the details. On bars, that's hitting handstands and sticking every single landing. Great start.
She has 4 wins already this year in the all-around. We're expecting her to go all-around again today. In fact, she'll lead off on the floor, 2nd on the beam, and leads off on the bars as well. Tubbs goes 9.8, and Lynn 2nd up for UW.
Great power. Little trouble there holding on to the landing. Got close to that white line. Had to take the hop.
So Tubbs opens with the 9.8. Back to the bars in Utah. Pass the scores along as we go. McKenna Smith goes 9.9. Great opener for her. So McKenna Smith is on a tear on the bars as well. What isn't she hot on right now? That 9.9 on bars ties a career high, is a season best. Alana Sabido begins her routine.
She has an effortless swing, almost floats her skills on this event. Opening with the Jaeger flip. Down to the shoot over, a little form there.
She's gone 9.85, but her last 2 have been below that.
Winding up, finishing high flying double layout.
There you go.
Small hop back, good routine.
And her last 2 scores actually below 9.8. So she needed to pop a good one, and that was clean start to finish. Momentum works in gymnastics, it works individually, it works in a lineup of a team. Once somebody posts a good score, others follow along. Lynn just a 9.725. Remember, 6 compete, you can drop your low score. Here's Lana Navarro, the only 10-0 start value in the starting lineup. Navarro twice has gone 9.8 or better, went 9.825 at Vegas to start the season. At Stanford on Monday night, 9.775. That meet Monday for Washington, a season best 196.5. They posted season highs as a team on both beam and vault.
She's performing a 1.5 twist. You can see her really marking that landing position. The key on this vault is lots of power, good height, looking over that shoulder so you know exactly where the ground is to find a good landing.
Washington is averaging below 49 on this event. They really need big scores on vault today.
Good for her.
And you see Brenna Brooks, former UW star, in the background, reacting honestly.
Well, this is a vault she's been training and waiting to add back into the lineup. She had nice power.
Deep into the table.
Big smile. It is a risky vault, right? That blind landing, because if you come up short, you sit it down really quick. So you have to weigh out the consistency of the practices and, of course, doing it under pressure.
Sabido 9.825.
Emily Morgan. Big release combination with that full twisting pack salto back down. And then one more right here. Back up to the high bar. Most challenging part of those elements is keeping the form. Another unique dismount. Perfect landing, like a toe front, but she does it from the stalder position, having to pull her feet back behind the bar and then whip them off. Take another look. We saw McKenna do the toe front. This stalder position then whips out to that front tuck half. You can see as she was coming into the landing, she got perfect balance, aligning her posture.
Emily Innes for the gym.
9-8 for Navarro. They'll take it. They need 9/8 and above. Emily Innes, a sophomore from Pittsburgh, career high 9.875 at Vegas a couple of weeks ago.
Nice. Great control. She had that hop back on the landing, but you can see the potential of that vault directly behind the table. Lots of distance.
At Maples Pavilion on Monday night, went 9.85 on that exact vault. 9.925 for Morgan. So good scores starting out here for Utah on the bars, as we expect. Ella Zerbius been struggling a little bit on this one. Season high 9.875 against Arizona State. Needs to match that.
Beautiful Ray to start the routine, directly connected down to that pack salto. Stunning toe point throughout this whole routine. Nailing that final cast. Needs a clean landing right here. Full twisting double back. She's gonna like that routine.
Just like that. Little bounce, but she did not come out of her own footsteps.
One thing the coaches talked to me about was coming into competitions is really learning to create their own energy. When they're in their home arena, all the fans rooting for them, it gets really loud. How do they bring that on the road? And so really building that on this first rotation.
9.75 for Ennis, and here comes our all-arounder, the All-American, Skylar Kilho-Wilhelm. She is the face of the franchise right now. They need a big score. I mentioned they're averaging under 49 a rotation, but 3 out of their last 5, they have gone 49, and that's right when Skylar started to pop all of her scores across the board.
Beautiful technique on this vault. Obviously, the hop on the landing is a deduction, but really there's nothing else to take but that. Perfect into the table, lifts her shoulders, keeps her body totally aligned, hips open, just takes that hop back.
.985 for Zerbies.
Miley.
Here comes Miley O'Keefe. Of course, we talked about her on the beam. She's been terrific on the bars as well. 14 career perfect 10s, 13 on the beam, 1 on the bars.
Similar release combination up to the high bar pack salto back down. Elements like this, very important, pirouetting on top. And she has a unique dismount, double Arabian. She comes off the bar, turns, and then performs a double front. I saw her stick it in the warm-ups.
Like that?
Like that.
Well, her best this year, and she's done it twice, 9.925. That's got to be right there.
Well, like I mentioned, this young lady obviously has locked in a lot of perfect 10s, but it doesn't just happen because she gets lucky. She trains like this. I saw her warm it up at least twice, landing just like that. It's not an accident. Incredible job.
Mary McDonough.
Skylar goes 9.8. And anchor spot here for Washington. Mary McDonough, I believe that is her career debut.
It was a pretty good vault.
Freshman from Franklin, Tennessee. They sneak her into the lineup in the anchor spot. No hesitation, she got the green flag, attacked the table, and comes out with a smile. O'Keefe again goes 9.925. That ties her season best on that event. And Grace McCallum. So you can see the total is already 49.425. That is higher than their season average. Their best as a team this year is a 49.5 at the Best of Utah meet at the Maverick Center 3 weeks ago.
Perfect opening cast handstand. Her lines are so tight. Her form and technique. Legs glued together, back up to the high bar. Full twisting double back. Little slide of that right foot. But a great routine. What a great start for Utah on the bars.
Looked like O'Keefe was the first one to greet her. How about that at the back end of your lineup? Having Miley O'Keefe and Grace McCallum. Maybe there's a reason that Utah is ranked number 4 in the country as a team. They almost always are a top 10 team, but now they're top 10 on every event. And Utah, a chance, depending upon that score, maybe at a season best on the bars, to start things out on the meet of the week at Old Heck Edmondson Pavilion, Alaska Airlines Arena in Seattle. One rotation behind us in Seattle on the meet of the week, presented by Pacific Premier Bank. Utah goes 49.525. That is the season best for them. Washington 48.875. And Jen Llewellyn, the head coach here at UW, joins us now. Hey, before we talk about this meet, take me back to Monday night at Stanford. You guys put up a season high 196.5. Season highs on both vault and beam. Is it starting to come together? Are the kids starting to grow up?
It does feel like that. Really proud of how they performed on Monday, and I think that was a huge confidence boost for them. And it's nice to be back home, settle in, wake up in your own bed, and really proud of the start we had on vault today.
You said this is a young team, but you're finally kind of putting the pieces together. How proud are you of Navarro's 1.5 on that opening rotation?
Very proud. She's been working really hard. She had an off-season surgery, so her preseason has been a little bit of a slower start, but she's worked tremendously hard, and the hard work is paying off, and I'm really proud of her taking that step to, she did the 1.5 last week and again at home, so it's only going to get better each and every meet.
Well, definitely a solid start. We talked about the goals for bars, hitting those handstands. What are you going to tell your team before they take the next rotation?
The biggest thing was just trying not to be perfect and just having fun and letting loose. And when they do that, they do big gymnastics and find the landings. So hoping to build off of the first rotation and just continue to build skill to skill.
Jen, every week when we come in, we talk with our producer and we say, who should we feature for Washington?
Yep.
And we always keep saying Skylar Kilhoe-Wellham. Now, we want to spread it around, but when you go 39.575 at Stanford on Monday night, I have to talk about you in Seattle on Saturday, don't I?
Yes, you do. She's a tremendous athlete, tremendous woman. I can't speak more highly of her. Who she is in the competition floor is who she is every day, and she's an incredible leader on this team.
You know, I've done a lot of meets, and I don't know if I've ever done a meet where the opposing head coaches were both former uneven bars champions in the Pac-12. Any chance of getting you and Carly up after the meet and finally settle it?
Yeah, and she's an alumni here, too,
That's
so
right.
maybe we can have a little battle.
Appreciate the time. Thanks for playing along, Jen.
Thanks, you.
Jen.
Go Dogs.
Jen Llewellyn, she was Jen Kessler, remember, when she was an All-American at Oregon State, and the fans here not only seeing Jen right in front of them doing an interview, but now looking up at the board and seeing Carly Dockendorf in a purple and gold leotard from back in we'll just say back in the aughts. Yeah,
Well, you know,
back in the
she was
aughts.
here 2001 to 2005 as a gymnast, but she also was track. 02 to 06, and I said, what did you love most about being an athlete here? And she said, honestly, performing floor. My dad sat in the corner. I looked at him every time before I did my first tumbling pass. She said the people, the fans, and everybody here just made them feel very special. So it's fun to be back and see everybody.
Yeah, always good to see both Carly and Jen. We've known them since they were gymnasts. As we look back at what Utah just did on the bars, well, you're supposed to get better as the season goes along. Last week, they put up a team season best. Now they just put up a season best on the vault, 49.525. Miley O'Keefe with a 9.925 again, third time this year.
They had 3 scores of 9.925 in this opening rotation. They were aggressive, hitting their handstands and going for these landings right here on this double Arabian. I mean, she knew she had it perfect, but it's the energy this team is beginning to create. They know they're strong. They've only really hit 75% of their max so far.
And then McCallum came up and matched the score with a whole different routine.
Legs glued together on this opening release combination, and then wrapped it up with a full twisting double back. She shifts that right foot just a little bit. Otherwise, I think it could have been a perfect score for her.
So McCallum, O'Keefe, and Emily Morgan all went 9.925, a 9.9 for McKenna Smith, and Zerbe's with a 9.85, so it comes out to a 49.525 season best for Utah on the bars. So now we start to look at their total score season best. 197.75 for Oregon State. We'll do the math as we roll along.
second rotation starts now.
Well, if you take that 49.525 by Utah and multiply it by 4 rotations, they go 198.3. It would be the 3rd highest score in the country. It's the meet of the week, presented by Pacific Premier Bank. Jim Watson and Amanda Borden in Seattle. A good crowd on hand as Utah travels. Well, you see all that red right in the middle. They switch sides of the gym now, and Utah moves over to the vault. Number 8 as a team, 3rd in the conference, averaging a 49.3. They've gone as high as 49.525. Did that last week against Oregon State when we were at the Huntsman Center. And they have 2 athletes right about the top 20. Smith is 6th, McCallum is 21st. But what do you notice right away? All the start values are 10.
Incredible. I mean, really pushing the level of difficulty on this event. They have more athletes that can perform vault. They're giving some of their athletes what they call a leg rest week. So that depth on this event is really key. That way you can pull somebody out for a week and put somebody in, and you're still holding those start values.
Gymnastics is a unique sport, but like other challenges, football, basketball, track and field, you always want to get better as the season goes along. Utah is doing that. Utah may have already hit their postseason form with that 49.575 in the first rotation. They have now gone at least 49.4 in 10 of their last 13 rotations, and they average way over that on vault.
Okay, so she only did a Yurchenko full in the opener, so went with the safer options. That is a 995 start value. They did have a lineup change last minute as well, so I'm sure that's playing a part in what vault choices they're picking.
Yeah, Gilstrap was scheduled to be the anchor, and they tweaked it about 30 minutes before we started today, and it brings McCallum into the anchor spot. We'll set him as we go along. Here's the lineup on bars for Washington. The Gym Dogs are just 31st in the country, averaging under a 49, but they did go 49.25 at UCLA. It was at that meet. They look great, and they've gone 49 in 4 out of the 5 this year.
Nice amplitude.
Diamudi lead off.
The Maloney to the Pac Salto, great combination work.
Twice in a row, she's tied her season high in this at 9.8. Looking for better here.
Ooh, just a little hop back there. When I talked to the coaches, they said this young team is just kind of gaining confidence every single meet, knowing that, yes, we can be aggressive, hit the handstands, and stick the landings. That is something they're really focusing on for the uneven bars.
9.8 for Gilstrap. Ella Zerbes, who went 9.85 on vault in the first rotation.
Ella Zerbes.
She's been in the vault lineup in every meet. 9.875 against Arizona State at home 2 weeks ago.
Big speed and power into the table. Little off to the left side of the mat, but beautiful Yurchenko 1.5 twist.
Ella's a freshman from Minnesota. Utah, of course, picks athletes from all over the country. Moody, 9.8.
Kristen Lynn.
Good starter, and I believe Lynn was second in their lineup on vault as well, where she went 9.725.
Combination, high flying Ginger, directly connected to that shoot over.
She's been good on this routine all year, but did have some trouble Monday night at Stanford. Trying to leave it behind.
Holding on there.
A little step back.
Yeah, it looked like she almost started to get a little hung up on the dismount, but was able to get her feet underneath her. This release combination, challenging to keep your form. Ginger, right here, very easy to let those legs come apart just a little bit and then directly connected down to that low bar. We always get to see these things in slow motion.
A little easier.
So it is a little easier. You have to kind of let the judges see that in quick motion and decide.
Wow, 9.875 for Zerbes. Ties her career best. Well, she had against Arizona State. Ashley Glenn waits at the end of the runway And he's cleared for takeoff.
1.5 twist.
Hold on.
Also a little off to that left side. That happens when they come off the table and they're a little rushed with their twist. It angles their shoulders. Of course, then taking the step over the line. Those are obvious deductions for the judges to see.
Glynn coming off 2 good scores on the vault, including a 9.925 against Arizona State. Probably not going to get to that level. Olivia Oppegaard for the first time. Then ends up with a 9.775. For Olivia, this is her only event of the day. She's a specialist.
Nice Jaeger flip.
Has gone 9.85 a couple of times this year.
Little off balance there. Looked like she caught her left hand slipping a little bit on that transition down to the low bar. And finishing it out, double layout.
Just a 9.75 for Glynn. So they're going to want to drop that score. Smith, Rucker, and McCallum still to go. Never want to count anything below a 9.8.
McKenna Smith has a unique vault. She does a half on to the table, pike front off.
And a 9.9 on bars to start the meet.
Nicely done. That's a completely blind landing. On the twisting vaults, you can look over to your shoulder, see where the mat is, and kind of make an adjustment to your posture. On a pike front, literally as she's opening that flip, she's looking either at the ceiling or straight out into the fan. So much more difficult to go for the stick. Right there, you can see she's just looking straight out. That's having really good body awareness. Of course, taking a small deduction on the hop forward, but other than that, very clean.
She's ranked number 6 individually, has won twice on vault this year. 9.925 against Oregon State last week, 4 times, has gone 9.9. And that's because of the difficulty of the vault. Oppegaard 9.75. And once again, here's Skylar. Skylar on bars, her last 4 have all been 9.8 or better, and is coming off a season-high 9.9 at Stanford on Monday.
Jaeger flip. Looked like she may have caught her heels on the low bar as she was swinging through. Finishes with the combination. Front giant right to the top. Look at that pirouette. Beautiful. Double tuck.
Oh, come on.
A little lean back on her heels.
Well, if she did click her heels, she fought through it, and she didn't really show it, Amanda. It didn't look like it bothered her much.
Yeah, right here as she
Watch
goes by
her feet.
the low bar.
You're
Yeah.
right. Good eye.
Yeah, great job adjusting on the Jaeger flip, but it will be a deduction, unfortunately. And then going for that stick, she just had her feet slightly underneath her. But I love how aggressive she is at going for perfection.
Little smile, but she hasn't seen the score yet. Smith 9.85. So that's the second best on the docket so far for Utah. And here comes Rucker. Rucker's been a little hot and cold. She could be one of the best in the country on this event. And had to step back.
Yeah, hot cold. She had a big vault last week, but the week before came up a little short. So I think you could see her wanting to go for that stick and was a little tentative on it because like we talked about, if you're a little short on it, it is easy to have a big deduction. Of course, she did take 1 step back, but overall, very clean.
NCAA champion from a couple of years ago and had a near perfect vault against Oregon State last week. Skylar Keller-Wilhelm goes 9.8. Now close with Tubbs and Russin. Remember, Tubbs started the meet with a 9.8 on vault for Washington.
Clean release combination to that bail handstand, locking it in.
Last 2 routines at UCLA and Stanford, 9.85 season highs. Going for the three-peat. Hold on.
That was a beautiful routine. They just need to stay down a little bit longer on these dismounts. I love that they're going for those sticks right here, but when she lands, her chest needs to stay forward just a hair longer so that her hips go down. Once that chest starts rocking back, weight transfers to the heels. And even if she stepped to salute, the judges still take the deduction now.
9.875 for Rucker, so she's back. That leaves McCallum. They're already over 49.
Yurchenko layout full.
McCallum right on the bubble. They're ranked 21st in the country. Season 9, 9.875 at the Sprouts Classic at the Maverick Center to start the season. See, they were trying to drop Glenn's 9.75. It should be above that. It should be in the 49.25 range for the rotation. Russin now, anchor spot for UW. They've already hit 49, so that's the good news. That's above their average, their season best, 49.250. They're also looking to drop Oppegaard's 9.75.
Nice control right on top of the bar. Perfect position on the catch of the Jaeger. Great way to finish this rotation. She told me earlier the goal was to keep with the consistency, but start getting aggressive on the details. And I felt like they weren't perfect, but they were really fighting for the little things that make a big difference, like hitting handstands and fighting for those landings.
And Russin came in hot on this event. 4 straight 9.8 or better. The 9.875 at UCLA 2 weeks ago, then came back with a 9.8 at Stanford. So that's going to be a good rotation. Remember that Washington has never beaten Utah. Not once, not ever. There have been 2 ties in the 71 meetings, and both came here in the Emerald City. They need a little magic. Washington goes 49-150 on the bars, and Utah with a 49-2 on the vault. So the Red Rocks ranked 4th in the country, 98-725 halfway home. They're still on pace for a great score. Head coach Carly Dockendorf joins us, and Carly, I don't know what it's like for you walking back in this building. I still remember calling you on the floor here on the bars where you were a Pac-12 champion. What's it like? A lot of memories. You have to wipe them away like cobwebs when you walk in a head.
I love being back in here. It does bring back a lot of memories. I remember competing floor in here every single weekend and having a lot of family and friends and, you know, a lot of great fans in the building. And it's pretty special to be back in here in another capacity. But yeah, lots of great memories here.
We got a nice crowd on hand. You guys are heading to floor. This team is deep on all 4 events. You have some lineup changes, but what are you hoping from this event today?
Yeah, I really want to see them project their artistry and be aggressive on their tumbling. They've been doing exceptional on this event, and just to continue building on where we left off last Friday. We have Ella in the lineup tonight, and she just has such a gorgeous routine, and really excited for her to get out there.
Carly, I've been around this sport now, I don't know, 20-something years. I'm starting to learn a little something about it. I think Miley O'Keefe's pretty good on the beam. Can you talk about this astounding run? It seems like every week we're almost expecting her to go perfect. We saw it again against Oregon State last week. How does she do it? What makes Miley so good on the beam?
I know, she is incredible, and I don't think that perfection gets old. It's just amazing every single time, and you know, she works so diligently in practice every single day. She doesn't take her talent for granted. She just continues to be so disciplined with the details, and it shows. I mean, she's just so gorgeous. It's mesmerizing to watch her up there.
Yeah, I always say that I would actually pay money to watch Miley at the Huntsman on the beam. We're going to get you out of here on this. We already asked you about coming back to UW. We're going to bring up some pictures from back in the day.
Oh, boy.
2006 graduate, English major, Pac-12 champion on the bars in 03. 5 times on the floor, perfect score, regional champion 3 times, and 48 wins. I know a lot of people weren't around when you were a gymnast here at the University of Washington that are now watching our meets. Tell me how the sport has changed, because you've never left it.
Yeah, I mean, the sport itself has definitely changed a lot, but for me personally, my passion for NCAA gymnastics and being a part of just, the collegiate atmosphere has always been there, and just so excited to be back here with this team and competing with Utah tonight.
Thank you for your time, and welcome home.
Thank you. Go Utes!
Carly Dockendorf in her first season as the head coach, 7th season on staff in Salt Lake City. Utah coming in, a little swagger, ranked 4th in the country. They're only 6-3, but they're undefeated in conference. Remember, they've already seen Oklahoma this year, and everybody's still kind of finding their teams. McKenna Smith on the vault moments ago.
That unique vault, great landing. We've seen it week after week. And her smile and relaxed.
And Skylar Killow-Wilhelm over on the bars, 9-8.
She did a wonderful job fighting through that Jaeger flip. She caught her heels just a little bit, but finished with perfect form on her combination work, pirouetting right on top. Double tuck, little lean back, but pretty darn close to perfect.
Smith currently leading in the all-around over Wilhelm right now. Looks like 19.75 to 19.725. Actually goes Smith, McCallum, and then Skylar Killow-Wilhelm. So it's a fun all-around today as well. We'll take a break. We come back. Washington moves to the balance beam. It's their best event. And Utah. Meet of the week on the Pac-12 Network, presented by Pacific Premier Bank. Jim Watson and the Olympic gold medalist Amanda Borden in Montlake. Both teams over 98 at the midway point. Washington to the beam, where they're ranked 17th as a team, averaging above 49-1. They've got 49 in 3 out of the 5 meets this year, including at Stanford. Skylar Killow-Wilhelm and Russin both went 9.925, and Hallinan went 9.9 for Washington. And you see Jen Kessler right there. Jen Llewellyn. I'm always going to call her Kessler because that's how I met her.
I know. I don't know. We don't seem to be getting older, but everybody else is growing up around us.
Yeah, that's it. And her husband, of course, Cody Llewellyn, assistant coach here at Washington, along with Jeffrey Langenstein and Brenna Brooks there in the background. Here's the lineup. There's Hallinan, who went 9.9 at Maples on Monday. Gets the final word. I like this. Jen always comes out, chats with him. And if you see Jen's face, she always has a little grin. She likes to get him to laugh a little bit. Calm down. She goes through the routine, then a little bump, and then, yep, all right, let's do this. No big deal. It's just a beam. It doesn't move.
It's just do the same routine you do all the time is kind of what you're talking through when you get ready to mount the beam.
Chelsea's a freshman from here in Washington, Silverdale. She's a specialist, a beamer. She's been great. 4 out of her 5 have been 9.8 or better, and she's coming off a 9.9 career best at Stanford.
Combination right at the top of the routine. Kick over front, back tuck. You see the gymnast perform a variety of skills. Little bobble there in her dance element. The tumbling elements, the leaps and jumps, of course the full turn, as well as some additional acro elements. Solid leap pass. This lead-off position always so important. You want to put somebody up that's confident, that stays relaxed. Similar combination she did in the beginning.
Balance check.
In the opening combination, she dropped her left shoulder a little bit. There's a chance the judges won't give that connection. So by putting in that second, just guarantees she gets a 10-0 start value as she wraps up. One and a half twist. Wow.
One of her feet came off the beam on that dismount.
Looked like her right foot was right on the corner. You know, there were a couple parts throughout that routine that could have gone maybe a little worse, but that's the key in that lead-off position. She stayed calm and adjusted. It wasn't a perfect routine for her, but she stayed on the beam and got the ball rolling.
Red Rocks on the floor. Remember, as the visiting team, they will finish on the balance beam. That's a weakness for some teams, but not for Utah. In fact, they go in descending order today. their worst event to their best event. And again, all of them ranked in the top 10. On the floor, they are first in the conference, averaging 49.5.
McKenna Smith opening front double full. Such a fun routine. This music, a 70s theme. And like we've already seen, McKenna's got quite the personality. She's always dancing, even when she's not on the floor mat. She just loves to have a good time, and it shows. Nice combination. Finishing front 1.5. As you can see, she's a front tumbler as well as a great twister. Fun way to start this rotation. Utah fans looking on, they like it. This is her double salto pass. They're required to have 2 flips in the same pass, so that front 1.5 to a back layout. Also required to show a variety of flips. So as a front flipper and twister, that back layout, very important for this routine. And then finishing with that high flying front 1.5 to that stag jump. Such a fun way to start the rotation and really pick up that energy.
No wonder her coach is smiling. Every time McKenna Smith has been on the floor, her score has been at least 9.875. Hallinan with just a 9.75. I understand there were a couple of bobbles, and the dismount was a bit awkward, but I thought she deserved a little better than that. Emily Ennis.
Front arrow back handspring, similar to the elements we saw Chelsea perform. Combination, cat leap to side aerial, solid landing. His very commanding presence on this event, snapping those arms down.
She added balance beam to her program this year. She's got 9.85 at Iowa, had a 9.85 at Stanford on Monday. Hold on. I love it. Brenna Brooks right there. Can't reach out and help her, just nods. Good. No, you got it. You got it. Hold on to it.
That's a great routine.
Good for her. Good moment. It's a young team. It's getting better. When we were talking with Jen Llewellyn, I asked her, are they growing up? Because they have so many freshmen and sophomores on this team. And it takes a minute. Plus, when you look across the arena and you see this all-star team of the Red Rocks of Utah, it can be intimidating. Yet they're responding. McKenna Smith does it again. All 6 of her floors, 9.875 or better. Ella Zerbis. I do not have a floor for Ella this year, so this may be her collegiate debut.
This is her collegiate debut. She exhibitioned last week, but giving a couple athletes leg breaks, like Miley O'Keefe standing right in the corner rooting her teammate on.
Big moment for the kid. I'll flash to you. Good
toe
for
point
her.
extension throughout that whole routine. You know, not easy to step into the lineup for the first time. But like I mentioned, they're deep on a lot of these events. She opened up front double full. Clean form, legs glued together, and there's Miley O'Keefe right in the corner, rooting her on.
You know, and Miley's been around 5 years, so I don't know if she remembers her first floor, but you know the feeling, right? It's the first time out there, they were willing her to the end of that routine. Very nice. We'll see the score. 9-9 for Innes. Big stuff. Taylor Russin, third up. So a good rotation and 2 good ones already for Washington. They have a chance at a season best. Remember, they set it Monday, 196.5. Russin has gone 9-8 or better on beam 4 times, but
Some bobbles there.
a little
See
off
that
balance.
front-back combination, which can be easier to not have those balance checks on, but came up just a little short.
Seems to have regained her composure.
That's definitely the key on this event. One bobble does not mean that you need to let it go. Just a little tentative on the landings. Everybody has different styles on balance beam, but you have to kind of find the groove that you feel best in to really attack and to be aggressive. Know every position you want to be in and be there right away.
And beam is so cruel. It's such an all or nothing event. And if things go well early in your routine, it builds from there. But sometimes when you have a balance check or a bobble early on, it's hard to get that rhythm back. It's hard to get those negative thoughts out of your head. She just seemed to be fighting herself throughout. $9,925 for service. How about that as an opener? Wow. First time up, 9,925. That's impressive.
Abby Paulson, fun routine here. Music. Jim, do you know who it is?
Not yet.
You got 2 little girls.
Taylor Swift.
There you go. You better know Taylor Swift. When she came to Utah, she wanted Taylor Swift floor music, so she's waited a few years to get this, but the tumbling passes have always been that outstanding from the minute she has been a collegiate athlete. That front through to 2.5 twist. The team all knowing the fun part of the routine as well.
That always amazes me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't just know one routine, you gotta know them all.
There's 19 floors, and yet they seem to know all of them by heart.
Another great routine for Abby Paulson.
So it's hard, sometimes you're watching the performer, but you can't help but look in the background.
Yeah, well, here's the fun personality, which is very fun for her to just show it off. You know, she's always been kind of a very serious and aggressive performer, so what a fun routine for her teammates enjoying it all, too.
Good skills, good energy, and, of course, great music.
Yeah, and their choreographer, Maya Hambrick, right in the corner as well.
Yeah, Maya Hambrick, former LSU star, 20-time All-American. Just so we're clear, by the way, my daughters begin every day with the same 5 words. Hey, Siri, play Taylor Swift.
I knew it, see?
Gets me out of the house fast. 9,675 Russin. Lana Navarro. So they want to drop that 9,675. So if there's not enough pressure on beam, now the last 3 have to hit.
Setting up for the tumbling pass. Triple series.
Hold on, hold on.
settling in there, little lean to the right. Not overreacting, so small bobble. Large wobble there on her full turn. Such an easy skill.
Sorry, Amanda, she's reached 9.8 only once this year, came at UCLA. So she's still looking to string together some clean routines on beam.
Beautiful dismount there. Just a little wobbly,
Right.
even on the good landing. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges do with those few balance checks in that routine.
She's close on that routine. All the pieces are there. And just got to tie it together.
Take another look at her dismount, round off 1.5. She got a nice pop off the set, dropping in for a perfect landing, and then just rocks to that front. Again, those are kind of subjective deductions. She didn't take a step, but her posture is leaning a little bit, something they're really tightening up in college gymnastics. They want the perfect 10s to deserve the perfect 10.
So Utah averaging a 9.9 over the first three. Gilstrap, McCallum, and Rucker to finish on floor.
We've seen her perform on floor this year, but this is an old routine that she's going back to here. Very familiar music. She actually competed this back in 22. Started this season with a different routine, and the coaches felt like, you know, she's such a beautiful dancer. She wanted to really feel the performance. That exact same thing happened to me right at the end of my career. I wanted to, you know, get a more mature piece of music, and I tried it, and I was out on the floor, and I kept going, it just doesn't feel like me. It's very hard to really perform when my heart's not into it. And so for the athlete to really feel behind the routine and behind the music is such a key part of the success of the routine. I think this may be one of her highest scores this year. So good choice.
And on floor, the performance is all about the personality. You gotta feel the music, you gotta love the music. You mentioned Maya Hambrick at Utah in charge of choreography. We talked to BJ Dawson down at UCLA, one of the best in the country at that. How you build the floor with the personality, the performance, the music. Navarro 9.725. And here comes Skylar. Skylar Kilo-Wilhelm on the beam for UW. And Skylar is one of the best in the country, ranked number 7, 4 straight, 9.9 or better. 3 times she's got 9.925.
Nice fluid movements in and out of her opening skills, moving right into that tumbling series. And look at that, perfect position on the landing, snapping into that lunge. We're gonna see some of the greatest beam routines in the country today. Skylar being one of them, but what really sets great beam workers apart is their movement, their attitudes, their approach in and out of everything they're doing. They own this event. And I think they love that feeling. She needs to stick this dismount. Side aerial, 1.5. Oh, small hop forward. That probably is the only deduction. Should be 9.9 or better there.
The 9925 that she's had 3 times this year, she's had it 7 times in her career. It's her all-time best. This is going to be right there.
I love how she holds the perfect landing just to make sure the judges are aware there was nothing to take. And then right here, this is a difficult dismount, side aerial to the 1.5 twist. You got to have enough rotation, just a little too much. She needs to stay down on that landing. We could see her get a perfect 10 on that routine if she executes it just like that and sticks to the dismount.
And the new scoring protocol in college, you got to hold on to those landings and show the judge that you own it. Got to lock it in. Gilstrap, 9925. So you got McCallum and Rucker, and already a great rotation for the Red Rocks.
Opening full twisting double back, great height. Grace has always been beautiful on this event, her extension, her performance. I love this routine for her though. It's a little more lighthearted, a little more fun than we've seen in the past.
Do you see it on her face?
It's one of my favorite things watching some of the top elite athletes transition into college gymnastics, and just brings out all the things that you love about gymnastics, the reasons you started gymnastics. I think one thing I miss most is getting out on the floor and actually getting to perform. Very nice. 5 great routines for Utah on floor.
Before Grace stepped on the floor, she was ranked 19th in the country. That's going to add to that. 995 at Best of Utah.
Huge opening tumbling pass, full twisting double back, great height.
Yep.
Legs glued together on that landing. She only had to do 2 passes because of the level of difficulty. This one, her combination, front layout, front 1.5 twist. Legs got a little crossed up there, but a big smile.
She's always 9875 or better. This one should be above that number. I think the judges have been pretty good today. A couple of soft scores, but I think fair overall. 985 though, as
I think that's tight.
I do too.
That was a stunning
Wow.
routine by Skylar.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Closing it out with Dia Moody. Moody's season high in the beam came. Dual meet at Iowa. Beautiful series.
Impressive. 2 layout step outs connected. So dynamic, and when it hits perfect like that, her teammates went wild, the crowd went wild.
Only 9825 season high, but she has gone 99 in her career. Full turn. Hold on. Good cover with the hip dip. Gotta have it.
1.5 twist on the dismount.
Oh, and then rocked up to the toes second time.
Yeah, you can see the potential of this team. Really great routines, just, open the door on a few things. The small bobbles, the small landings. So again, still just good opportunity. Look at the power here though. Layout, step out, makes good adjustments throughout and then locks it in right there on the landing.
It was transition time for Washington. They lost Brandon Brooks, who's now a coach, Amara Cunningham, Kennedy Davis. 995 from McCallum. So Rucker now is just trying to take down what, a 9875 is the low score?
Incredible rotation.
They're already at a 49.575.
Jaden has a big first tumbling pass.
And she's had trouble.
Full twisting double back, came up a little short. Such a fun routine. Also only 2 passes performed right here. Combination, back 1.5, front layout. I think she's gonna feel good about that routine. You mentioned she's had some difficulties on this event. Her full in, not her best. She came up a hair short, but stayed on her feet.
Yeah, she's been fighting her gymnastics the last couple of meets, and especially on floor, which is a surprise. She's just hyper talented on this event.
Nice work there on that final tumbling pass. Such a good feeling when you've had some stumbles to finally put the routine that you're capable of together in competition.
Record coming out of Arizona, where she was a 12-time Arizona State champion, won every event at the state championships her final year there in club. Gets a big hug from her head coach. And Utah may have just put up another season best on another event. Utah and UW going to the final rotation when we come back. Tucker at 9.825. It's the second best floor rotation of the year for Utah. Utah needs a 49.45 to tie its season best as they close on beam. They are number 2 in the country, number 1 in the conference, and of course they feature Miley O'Keefe. We'll see that in a moment. Emily Ennis on beam moments ago.
This was their top score of the rotation. She got a 9.9. Nice combination work, dynamic leaps and jumps. She had a lot of personality in this routine. Confident from start to finish, finishing and held on to that landing.
49.075 for Washington in the rotation. We look back at Grace McCallum on the floor for the U of U.
She opened with a huge full twisting double back. She has fun, light choreography through this whole routine.
Tied her season high with a 9.95.
And then finished with the combination pass front layout to front 1.5 twist.
So all 6 of her scores this year have been at least 9.875. And of course, as a head coach, knowing you could just pencil that in and expect a 9.9, and well, McCallum tends to do that across the board. It's who she is. It's one of the reasons she's an Olympic silver medalist. Remember, she was 5th at the Olympic trials in the all-around. Miley O'Keefe getting set to go on beam. You and I have called Miley on beam so many times. It's special at the Huntsman Center because there's a buzz. Everybody knows that's not when you go to concessions, no potty breaks. You got to see Miley on the beam. But now on the road, I'm noticing even the home fans, when they're on the road, they want to see Miley because no matter what it is in life, you want to see somebody who's the best at something. That young woman is the best beamer in the history of collegiate gymnastics. This year, she's been up 5 times. 3 of them, she's come away with a perfect score.
Yes, unbelievable. Her skills have always been stunning, but week after week, she is proving that hard work pays off. Difficult series, she performs the side area layout step out. It's her posture, her details, all the way down to her fingers on every position that she does that gets her that perfection.
So she set the school record for 10s on beam last year. She's already has 3 this year. We told you she's got 13 perfect scores on beam. That is by far the most in the history of the sport. She now has, with her 1 perfect score on bars, 14 perfect 10s in her career, tying Teresa Kulikowski as number 1 all-time at the University of Utah.
This entire lineup has athletes that can put up those 9.9s or better. So it is a build till Miley anchors in this rotation.
And keep in mind, not only is she the defending NCAA champion on the beam, she's the defending NCAA all-around champion. You know, I've joked on the air before that if I were to sit here and read Miley O'Keefe's accomplishments in gymnastics, the show would be over because it goes on and on. I have to throw things out, things that would make someone else's career. Here's the all-time perfect 10s. Great Jenny Hansen at Kentucky. Jamie Dancher, Trinity Thomas, Hope Spivey, great Maggie Nichols at Oklahoma. There's Kyla Ross, Jeanette Hanselin, all big names. There's Kulikowski, and there is Miley O'Keefe looking to break into the top 10. Utah with a 148.3. They now, Miley O'Keefe is only ranked 93rd in the country because she had one fall that she has to count. That will soon wash off the ledger, and she'll vault back up to the top. That's the way gymnastics is. Their average is a 49.5. That's an average. Their best is a 49.6. Check it, sorry. They average a 49.4, and their best is a 49.55.
Please, let's get loud. It's time for the final rotation. Go Husky.
Setting the mood, apparently,
Creating some excitement.
at Alaska Airlines Arena. It's the meet of the week, presented by Pacific Premier Bank. Certainly is that today. And the Red Rocks, number 4, and Washington, a quickly improving young team that is now 28th in the nation after their meet on Monday at Stanford with a season best 196.5. Washington home team closest on the floor. Utah on the balance beam.
Emily Morgan in the leadoff spot on balance beam. Unique mount, brought up the handspring right up. And then tumbling elements, triple series to that layout step out. Beautiful flexibility. Every athlete in this lineup has unique choreography on the balance beam as well.
Morgan, Olympic bronze medalist for Great Britain. Best finish ever for England at an Olympic Games.
Dismounting front.
Close to the beam.
Yeah, front
Right
gainer
foot
leg
coming
fall. That was a beautiful start, though. Aggressive skills. They're already shouting for the 10s.
And she's got 9.95 this year on that routine. Just a perfect lead off. You know, a lot of teams want to start out with something modest, a 9.8, a 9.85, somewhere there. But Utah, because they're so deep and so good on this event, and by the way, this is Dockendorf's event. Before she was head coach, she was the beam coach. So it's got her signature on it. But they start out with 9.9s and above and build from there. Emily Pyers on floor for Washington.
This is an event that Washington has made some changes for this week.
She went 9.85 at Stanford in this routine.
Jen was saying they have so many young athletes, which is wonderful, and they're trying to get experience and see who can be consistent, but it's also giving them the opportunity to play with some lineups, give some athletes some rest, give others the opportunity.
Jeffrey Langenstein in the background, coach's floor.
Clean double tuck. Clean start.
That's what coaches do when they pick a leadoff. Who's going to get us out clean, post a good score, and we build from there. Remember, in gymnastics, you can lose a meet and still have your best meet of the year, and that's all that counts. It's the national qualifying score, not your win-loss record. Blind start on the beam.
That mount always gets you. McKenna Smith has had a great meet today. Nice adjustment there. Little lean to the right, covered it up well, getting that jump combination.
Smith has gone 9.9 on bars, 9.85 on vault, 9.875 on floor.
A wobble there, lifting that front foot on the landing.
Coming into the final rotation, she was just behind her teammate, Grace McCallum, for the all-around lead.
Confident landing there, stepping out of that switch lead. Dismounting off the side, gainer layout full.
So I've seen that routine now, I think, 4 times this year. I think that's the slowest she's ever gone. I wonder if that was intended. She slowed everything down, took an extra breath before skills, combinations.
Her first 2 had small balance checks, so she may have just taken a kind of a settle-in position, but still a very good routine. I mean, this mount alone, watch this, back handspring, and she has to catch in that chest stand. I mean, her face comes so close to the beam. I know we laugh about these things, but how do you ever try that, right?
Yeah, how do you learn it? And I just saw her do it live, so I knew she was okay, and I still winced on the replay.
Yeah.
Because of how close it is. I mean, you measure your steps, and you've done the move 1,000 times. 9.85 for Pyers. Good start. This home crowd wants to see their best meet of the year. Nearly 5,000 inside Alaska Airlines Arena.
Taylor Russin, this is her first time in the Flora lineup this year. Opening with the combination pass, front layout, front full, little off center of the diagonal. Position. She did a good job of being able to step back into that landing. Good for her back in the floor lineup.
Just a 9.825 for McKenna Smith. Elizabeth Gantner.
This is only her second time in the beam lineup. She performed at the Best of Utah.
So that was early in the season. And now called off the bench at UW.
Unique tumbling combination. Did that series right into her straddle jump.
She was a level 10 national champion on both bars and beam back in 2021. National runner-up in the all-around.
And trained at my teammate's gym. JC Phelps in Indiana. Dismounting front full. Slight hop back.
Yeah, that has to feel good. She had a 9.75 in her collegiate debut and then went on the shelf for 4 meets. They bring her back out and she answers the call. 9.85 for Pyers, 9.825 for Russin. Caitlin McWilliams. McWilliams, a floor specialist. Did not have a good outing at Stanford, but has gone 9.85, did that one in the dual meet at Iowa. First time Washington and Iowa had ever met in a dual meet. So same kind of scenario, trying to put the past behind her.
Nice double salto. Front 1.5, back layout, step out. Little short, taking that big step forward.
Well, we just saw Elizabeth Gantner for Utah come off the bench. Just her second career beam at the collegiate level, and she goes 9.875. Beautiful stuff. Leads right in to McCallum, Paulson, and then O'Keefe to finish the meet. McCallum and Smith in a duel for the all-around with Skylar Kilho-Wilhelm just a breath behind.
Setting up for her both turns.
Usually does 3 and then does another 2.
Triple followed by the double.
And counts them out for you.
Perfect, back handspring layout, step out. Dismounting. Tuck full off the end. Beautiful. I forget to talk about what I'm seeing because she's so stunning to watch. She opens with such fun choreography.
To the average fan, this looks easy, but it's not.
Not at all. Smooth triple, and then transitions right into a double.
And watch her catch herself with her foot coming back around and slides it down the beam.
And then counts them out, just in case anybody missed it.
And this is how my kid counts. Yep, 3 from one end to 2 on the other.
On the floor for your 2 dogs, Emily.
9.7 for Caitlin McWilliams. So Ennis, Skylar Kilho-Wilhelm, and Lana Navarro need to score for Washington. They still have a good chance at a season high team score. times Ennis has gone 9-8 or better, coming off a 9-8-5 Monday night.
Big front double full. Perfect positioning, back 1.5 front layout, and then turning right around for the final pass. That was a great routine.
Yeah, they needed it right at that time. Picks up this crowd, gets them back into it. I said it once before on the air, and I'd never gotten clarification. Emily's parents, she grew up in Pittsburgh. Chris and Greg said they'd be at every meet in Seattle. For all 4 years.
Wow.
So we'll see. It's a long way to go, but it's such a quick 4 years.
I can only imagine.
Abby Paulson up, you just saw the score. Grace McCallum, 9.875. And that gives McCallum a 39.55 all around. Puts her in the first place. Still with Skylar Killer-Wilhelm to come. A little more Taylor.
Abby, like Miley on this event, has stunning skills, lots of difficulty, lots of tricks to really choose from. She has been near perfect multiple times this season. These beam judges are definitely not going to give out the 10s today. All that's left is the dismount.
Holds onto it, shows it, owns it.
I didn't see anything. I said this once before, and I think that you got a 9.975 that time.
Yeah, look at the Utah fans at midcourt. They're completely demanding it. Well, let's say they're asking for it because they want to be good guests. 9.9 for Ennis.
Skylar Killer-Wilhelm.
It's not a season best for Ennis. She's got 9.925, but it's a great score. Here's Skylar Killer-Wilhelm on the floor. All 5 have been 9.8 or better. 9.9 against Cal.
Opening front double full. Another beautiful performance. Clean tumbling, showcasing her beautiful flexibility and artistry. Great day for her.
.995 for Paulson. So that's already a 49.475. Utah has already set a season high team score. They're already at 197.775. And here is Miley O'Keefe, the best ever on beam in college.
See that coming a little bit on the landing of her side aerial. Not only was she a little off center, it traveled forward a little bit into the layout. So great job staying on there. Dismounting, layout full. So not perfect for her, but still a stunning routine. A lot of fight on that tumbling pass. It could have been easy for her to jump off the beam.
Back-to-back 9.9s. Ennis and Killa Wilhelm. Here's Lana Navarro, 49.175. They need a 49.4 for a season best, but there's scores to drop. And Williams had the 9.7.
On the floor for your gym dogs, Navarro.
So Navarro's got to go. She's got to go 9.9, 9.925, maybe even a 9.95. Yeah, laugh it off. What else can you do but your best?
Her heel went right to that white line, but I did not see anybody put a hand up as she was, not sure that heel came down, to be honest with you. On that landing, her combination pass. Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to get their season best, but what a great day for Washington across all the events. You can see them finding their confidence, putting these events and routines together.
Yeah, the kids got to grow up. They got to learn to walk before they can run. Had to get over 196s, then over 196.5, and that's right where they are right now. And there's still 2 months left in the season. Utah just went 49.475. Paulson and Morgan 9.95. O'Keefe at 9.8. Off in the background, Elliott Bay. 49.325 for Washington on floor. That is a season high for them. Washington just misses its season best, 196.425. For Utah, they did get a season best with a 197.775, including 49.575 on the floor and 49.475 on the beam. Let's look at Grace McCallum, who won the all-around today.
Well, she was stunning across all four. 9.925 on bars, then came over to vault, last-minute lineup change, over to floor exercise. Her best score of the day, 9.95 with a fun routine, and then finished out on balance beam, a 9.875. She was fun to watch with those wolf turns. She did 5 of them. and let everybody know.
McCallum, 39.55, a best season high. Utes roll on at UCLA. Next up for them.